request once sent to a member of the Rolling Stones by a sculptor who wished to immortalise his spectacular instrument. And you will, I hope, be fascinated by a frank exchange of letters between two novelists in which is discussed the last sexual taboo. Topics broached in these unabashed letters include masturbation, prostitution, celibacy, promiscuity, incest, sex toys, pornography, BDSM, bestiality, erectile dysfunction, and pubic lice. And they come through the pens and typewriters of such people as Anais Nin, Frida Kahlo, Martha Gellhorn, Mae West, Marcel Proust, Henry Miller, Diane Fossey, and Georgia O'Keeffe. A heady mix indeed. Since work on this volume began in 2019, I have trawled through thousands of letters, flicked through hundreds of books, and entered millions of alarm-triggering words and phrases into search engines, all in search of the selection you will now hear, and I am of the firm opinion that each one deserves its place. I hope you will agree. Shaun Usher, 2020. Letter 1. An Instrument of Joy. Margaret Mead to Elizabeth Mead. 11th of January, 1926. Margaret Mead was widely regarded as the leading anthropologist in the Western world for many years, thanks largely to Coming of Age in Samoa, a groundbreaking and controversial book she wrote after a research trip in 1925. In the book, she sought to shine a light on the previously alien lives and relaxed sexual attitudes of adolescent Samoan girls. Although since contested, Mead's findings were a revelation at the time, and in fact have been credited with influencing the sexual revolution of the 1960s. In 1926, a year after setting foot on the Samoan island of Tau, Mead learnt of a sexual awakening much closer to home, that of her younger sister, Elizabeth. This letter of advice was her response. Read by Clarke.
Elizabeth, dear, I've a good mind to punish you by writing back in pencil. You're a wretch to write in pencil on pink paper just when you're writing something very important that you particularly want me to read. Don't do it again. I am glad you told me about the moonlight party, dear. It's the sort of thing that had to happen sometime, and it might have been a great deal worse. As it was a nice boy whom you like, and nothing that need worry you. There are two things I'd like to have you remember, or in fact, several. The thrills you get from touching the body of another person are just as good and legitimate thrills as those you get at the opera. Only the ones which you get at the opera are all mixed up with your ideas of beauty and music and life, and so they seem to you good and holy things. In the same way, the best can only be had from the joys which life offers to our sense of touch, for sex is mostly a matter of the sense of touch. When we associate those joys with love and respect and understanding. All the real tragedies of sex come from disassociation, either of the old maid who sternly refuses to think about sex at all until finally she can think about nothing else and goes crazy, or of the man who goes from one wanton's arms to another seeking only the immediate sensation of the moment and never linking it up with the other parts of his life. It is by the way in which sex, and under this I include warm, demonstrative friendships with both sexes as well as love affairs proper with men, is linked with all the other parts of our lives, with our appreciation of music and our tenderness for little children, and most of all, with our love for someone and the additional nearness to them which expression of love gives us, that sex itself is given meaning. You must realize that your body has been given you as an instrument of joy, and though you should choose most rigorously whose touch may make that instrument thrill and sing 1,000 beautiful songs,